कुकिंग वाज समथिंग कि मुझे करना है. इट इज नॉट लाइक मुझे कुछ ups and downs नहीं देखते, plus minuses नहीं देखने. It's just that I wanted to do it. And I was very clear with my thought from the very starting that what I wanted in my life.
Also, I think people need that kind of enthusiasm as well to have in them. कि हम order आया है, we have to make it happen. We have to make the best out of it, right?
I wanted to do something different. It was never about money. It was never about कि यार कुछ करना है ना कुछ other. It was like दिल की खुशी के लिए करना है, चलेगा तो चल जाएगा. Start very small. मतलब you cannot do big with the numbers and everything if you don't have any experience about it. If you don't have any experience, just start small and gradually you will start learning from your own mistake. But अगर आपको खुद के नाम को build करना है तो first of all अगर आप में वो knowledge नहीं है तो go somewhere, take the training and then do it. जब आप basics से चालू करते हो ना ABCD से, then you start rolling it out.
It's not about ideas. It's about making ideas happen. Hello everyone, this is Dipali from Millennium Times, and today we will learn how to start a successful restaurant. Well, the thought of starting this endeavor might seem daunting to some of us, but if you're prepared, you can begin to execute it with your skills and your vision. And today we have one such successful entrepreneur, Shefali Jain, who is successfully running her own restaurant under the name of the Sushi Company. She founded the Sushi Company during first COVID lockdown as a home chef. And during COVID, they started selling sushis from home kitchen with the help of her sister. All the recipes are fusion and version of famous non-vegetarian sushis, which they created into vegetarian and vegan sushis. And rest, we'll hear it from Shefali herself. Hi Shefali, how are you doing today?
Hi Dipali, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So, Shefali, every business, starts with an innovative idea. You have to have something in mind before starting it. And likewise, you also would have something in mind. So tell me, what was your seed? What was the seed for your business?
See, actually, earlier during the COVID period, I was doing jewelry business at that time. I was, supporting my father into his business. And during the COVID lockdown, it all happened like everyone was sitting in the family. And I've been a foodie since, I don't know how long. I used to, brag to my parents and tell them, "Yaar, today I'll be making sushi, today I'll be making this, today I'll be making," and I used to make it and everyone used to love it. And given the thing that I had a joint family, so वो experiment पूरा हो जाता था 10 जनों के palate के ऊपर, क्योंकि every single person had a different palate. Someone was like कि हमें spicy चाहिए, किसी को बिल्कुल spicy नहीं चाहिए होता, किसी को bland चाहिए होता है. So, I started experimenting about food and making food from my family itself. And my family, has been living in Hong Kong and Bangkok from the past 20 years. So the cuisine thing which was happening in my family was something कि वो जयपुर की दूसरी families में वो चीज़ नहीं हो रही थी. Because I don't even remember since how long I've been eating falafel at my home, which was, never available in Jaipur for like 15 to 20 years back. अपन अगर किसी को बोलती भी थी ना कि भाई मुझे falafel खाना है, they all were like, complete blank हो जाते. तो ये फलाफल और ये पिज्जाज का ट्रेंड तो मेरे घर में बहुत पहले आके निकल चुका था. एंड ड्यूरिंग द कोविड टाइमिंग हम लोग के घर में सुशी का ट्रेंड चल रहा था कि ना डेली every other day we were making sushi for a family. And since there were 10 people in the family, and I'm blessed to be living in that family, जिनका क्या सीन था कि वो लोग है ना नॉर्मल रूटीन में भी ना सब लोग सब खाना खा लेते थे. ऐसा नहीं था कि बड़े लोगों को इंडियन ही खाना है, छोटे लोगों को यही खाना है. एवरीवन यूज्ड टू हैव एवरीथिंग. तो वो 10 जनों के लिए सुशी रोल करते करते ऐसा हो गया था, we used to keep a competition कि कौन कितनी देर में है ना sushi roll कर सकता है. So that is how it all started. And since Instagram and everything came into the picture, so we were all posting the photos of it on the Instagram. Every member of my family, my friends who were coming along for the COVID lockdown खाना खाने के लिए जो आ रहे थे, they all started posting pictures of it here and then. तो फिर वो ऐसे धीरे धीरे करके ना पूरे जयपुर में स्प्रेड हो गया कि ऐसे शेफाली है who is making sushi. And since the Jain society in Jaipur is very, बहुत ज़्यादा connected है. So people started, calling me कि यार मुझे sushi खानी, can you make it for it? And I was like, यार बना दूंगी तेरे लिए. But then, 4-5 बार करने के बाद they were like कि हम आपसे फ्री में नहीं ले सकते, please at least charge some minimal amount because we don't want to be the burden kind of a person for you. तो वैसे वो वाला सीन स्टार्ट हुआ.
So, Shefali, as you said that, you lived in a joint family and they were your taste. मैं कहूँ संजीव कपूर थे आपके family members. But, opening a
They were
restaurant
actually
is...
critics. They were actually basic, critics कि ऐसे होना है, वैसे होना है, ये करना है, वो करना है.
I think it's very lucky to have critic in your own home जो कि आपको idea
Right.
देता रहता है whether you're right or wrong. So it must be a dream come true for you, right? And you've successfully made that happen as well. Tell me the inspiration. Besides के जयपुर में options available नहीं थे, इस reason के अलावा what was the main reason to start something like this?
See, actually, when I started my father's business also, then also I used to go to him and say कि I don't want to do this jewelry wala business, although I'm interested in jewelry business. But just I was so fond of food and everything, so I used to tell him कि पापा मुझे ना खाली एक छोटा सा कैफे खुलवा दो, I'm happy with it. I don't want to do anything jewelry, and I was very clear with my thought from the very starting that what I wanted in my life. It wasn't like यार ये भी हो गए तो चल जाएगा, ये भी हो जाएगा. I was nothing like that. I was always the person who used to be the person कि ना जिसके already thoughts हमेशा clear रहते थे कि कैसे क्या करना है अपन को, कहाँ जाना है, कहाँ नहीं जाना. There was like एक दो चीजों में confusion होता था, but that too once it is sorted वो sort हो जाता था. मतलब इतना confusion कभी हुआ नहीं मुझे.
Right. If we talk about the options, मतलब जैसा you said you are a foodie yourself and there are so many options. There's Chinese, Italian, Japanese, but we have seen people, being more inclined towards Chinese. So why did you choose this specific cuisine as of Japanese?
I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something different. It was never about money. It was never about कि यार कुछ करना है ना कुछ ज़्यादा. It was like दिल की खुशी के लिए करना है, चलेगा तो चल जाएगा, वरना जूलरी का चल ही रहा है. Firstly, because it wasn't my bread and butter. Thankfully, touch wood, it wasn't my bread and butter. I was always into my jewelry business. So it was always the second thing for me. And cooking was something, कि मुझे करना है. It is not like मुझे कुछ ups and downs नहीं देखते, plus minuses नहीं देखने. It's just that I wanted to do it. That's why I did it. And since मेरे में ये चीज थी, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है that I wasn't making anything else at the home. I was making Thai curries, pizzas. Actually, the पूरे proper dough लगा के flour वाले pizzas I was making at home. I was making everything Indian, North Indian, Chinese में Manchurian. Everything used to be done at my home. But the sushi was something, when I used to go out, when I, कभी कभी होता है ना कि 10 जनों के खाना बनाने का मन नहीं है, 10 क्योंकि whenever I used to make something, I used to make it for all the 10 people. ऐसा नहीं होता था कभी भी कि मैं खाली अपने अकेले के लिए बना के खा रही हूँ. So what happened was कि जब मेरे को खाली अपने अकेले के लिए बनाना होता था, तो मेरा अंदर से एफर्ट या रील भी नहीं आता था, एफर्ट भी नहीं लगता था कि बनाऊं खुद के लिए. So I used to go to 2 or 3 places which were in Jaipur, जहाँ पे ना sushi मिलती है. So COVID में very limited, in the very limited resources, when I went to these places, it was like it was pathetic. मतलब है ना, मैं से खा ही नहीं गई वो, maybe because of the non-vegetarian वाला thing or something like that. क्योंकि और प्लस sushi and I made, मतलब हम लोगों ने sushi में खा रही थी बचपन से अपने घर में कि हाँ ये ऐसे ऐसे sushi बन रही है, ये खा रहे हैं अपन लोग. तो it played a very good role in creating those recipes also for me. And at the end ये सारा मतलब it all came into the place, start सब कुछ एकदम place पे वो होता गया कि हाँ ये.
Right. Also, Shefali, while choosing a restaurant, right? तो लोगों के दिमाग में एक benchmark set रहता है about, if you talk about Chinese or Japanese, the place of origin comes in their mind कि वहाँ का खाना तो वैसा ही होना चाहिए, right? So how did you make that happen? How did you overcome the Japanese taste benchmark and maintain your product standards in the restaurant business as well?
To be very honest, I played the simple trick which Jaipur people are fond of, garlic and spices. I played with those garlic and spices in my sushi and people became fond of it.
Right.
Because I have noticed कि है ना pizza में garlic डाल दो, pasta में garlic डाल दो, although there is no garlic in it, but people will love it.
Right. Also, Shefali, finding a cook, like recipe आपने बना दी है, but following it for so many people and making it for so many people might be a task. So, having said that, in Jaipur, finding the Japanese cook might be challenging. So tell me, how challenging was it?
You will be
Yeah.
surprised to know none of my cooks are Japanese. They are all Bengalis. And I used to train them like day and night कि भैया आपको ऐसे बनाना है, ऐसे करना है, आप जापानीज हो आज से, अब अपने दिमाग में सेट कर लो आप जापानीज हो आज।
All right, all right. So when it
हम्म
comes to business, right, you have to be focused, and you
हम्म
cannot go wrong with business, right? Because
हम्म
eventually it will affect your business or it will affect your
हम्म
work life
हम्म
and everything. So let's say अगर हम बात करें working for a franchise or running
हम्म
your own business, you tell me
हम्म
which is better. What is better?
यार
Starting your own brand name or
हम्म
taking a franchise of a reputed brand?
यार honestly I think it depends completely on the person who is pursuing it. मतलब जिसको जितनी knowledge होती है ना उस according we should carry forward what we think about it. Like I was the person who was making all the recipes and already feeding so many people. So I had that kind of a basic knowledge कि यार कैसे recipes को इधर उधर करना है, कैसे we have to play with the ingredients and everything. If you have that kind of a knowledge, why don't go and build your franchisee? Why don't you build your own recipes and everything? But there are many people over here who doesn't have that kind of a skill. Who are like यार हमें तो restaurant खोलना है. They have this charm and they have that deed in their mind कि यार मुझे restaurant खोलना है. I really want to open a, because they don't know what actually goes behind the kitchens and everything. The only thing which they see कि यार ये कितना glamorous है, कितना अच्छा है, यहाँ पे कितने लोग आ रहे हैं, खाना है. I am very fond of food and everything, but खाना खाना and खाना बनाना are two different things. And खाना बनाना और खाना खिलाने को साथ में लेके चलना is a different thing. इट इज अ मतलब एक बहुत बड़ा सर्कल बन जाता है एक, है ना, कि आपको ये दोनों चीजें, अगर आपको सिंपली अगर आपको बहुत अच्छा रेस्टोरेंट खोलना है बट यू डोंट हैव द नॉलेज अबाउट द रेसिपीज द इंग्रेडिएंट्स, then you pay the extra franchisee amount and that is the best beat you can do. You cannot never go wrong with a franchisee अगर कोई build up franchisee already है तो. बट अगर आपको खुद के नाम को बिल्ड करना है तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अगर आप में वो नॉलेज नहीं है तो गो समवेयर, टेक द ट्रेनिंग एंड देन डू इट. At least in that way you won't regret it कि यार मैंने कुछ गलत किया. You will always know कि आप कहाँ गलत हो रहे
Right, right, right. Also, tell
हो.
me about the finances. Suppose someone who has never handled anything, or
हम्म
since you have been into jewelry business as well, and then you came into
हम्म
the cooking business or restaurant business.
हम्म
Like in someone like me or someone who has never done that before, right? So it becomes a task for them. So what
हम्म
does someone need to keep in mind about the financials before they launch
यार
their own restaurant?
I personally feel कि start small, start very small. मतलब you cannot do big with the numbers and everything if you don't have any experience about it. If you don't have any experience, just start small and gradually you will start learning from your own mistakes. लेकिन उस टाइम पे क्या होगा, since numbers will be small तो stakes आपकी इतनी बड़ी नहीं होगी. अगर नंबर्स बड़े होते चले गए तो आपका स्टेक्स भी डेफिनेटली बड़े हो जाएंगे एंड देन इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू आल्सो टू ओवरकम दो स्टेक्स. फिर आप पता है ट्राई करने का ही वो खत्म कर हो जाएगा कि यार मुझे तो कोई चीज ट्राई ही नहीं करनी. यू विल लूज दैट फील फ्रॉम विद इन कि यार मुझे कुछ ट्राई भी करना है.
Right, right. Also, कि बूंद बूंद से सागर बनता है, तो you have to start from smaller and then you
Yeah.
can be large.
For me, I started from home with my sister and everything. We used to, make sushis, very little batches. मतलब हम लोग को तो उस टाइम पे ऐसा होता था, हमें एक ऑर्डर भी आ जाता था ना घर पे, तो we also used to be so happy कि यार चलो एक ऑर्डर आ गया. तो वो चीज
Right,
होती
right.
है कि मतलब आप धीरे धीरे जब आप बेसिक्स से चालू करते हो ना ABCD से, then you start, rolling it out.
Also, I think people need that kind of enthusiasm as well to have in them. कि हम
हम्म
order आया है, we have to make it happen. We have to make the best out of
हम्म
it, right? Right, right.
हम्म
So coming to my last question, Shefali, what piece of advice would you like to give to someone who is starting his or own, restaurant?
The only thing which I want to, say is कि है ना, before starting any of the restaurants, just keep the check of your financials because once it is done, it is done. You cannot, reverse it कि यार भाई मैंने तो गलती कर दी, इतना पैसा लगा दे, because starting a restaurant is not an easy on pockets also. It is easily, the starting business start from like 5 to 10 lakhs. आपको minimum investment चाहिए ही चाहिए होता है. And using the money of your parents or maybe from the other sources जो उनका एकदम hard earned money, maybe we should, at least learn the value कि यार ये 1% मैं इतना कर लूं कि है ना कम से कम ये 5-10 उनको वापस दे दे. मतलब आई डोंट थिंक पीपल शुड बी टेकिंग दैट अमाउंट फॉर ग्रांटेड कि यार दे दिया वाला सीन, बिकॉज पीपल आर चिल्ड्रन आर लाइक दीज नाउ डेज. मतलब अपन जस्ट फॉर यू फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आपका मन है रेस्टोरेंट खोलने का, यू विल ऑब्वियसली आस्क द योर रिलेटिव और समवन ओनली फॉर द मनी एंड अमाउंट. बट एक वो होता है ना पैसे का दर्द, दैट इज समथिंग विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन एवरी वन. अगर पैसे का दर्द नहीं है तो वो ये एक रैंडम प्रोजेक्ट होगा, वो एक रैंडम प्रोजेक्ट, किटी प्रोजेक्ट्स नहीं होते कि यार ये भी कर लिया वो भी कर लिया, पूरी खिचड़ी बना दी सारी चीजों की, वो वाली चीज हो जाएगी.
Right, right. All right, Shefali, I think we have learned a lot of things from you, and through this conversation, we understand what it takes to be a restaurant owner. काफी enthusiasm की जरूरत होती है, काफी उत्साह की जरूरत होती है. That is very, evident to us. So thank you for all the knowledge. I really appreciate you taking out the time and coming to us and solving all of our doubts and questions. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dipali.
Thank you. All right, that's all for me, guys. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel, Millennium Times.